I'm operating barefoot off the DX100. My SB220 blew up about 4 or 5 days ago. Looks like one of the 3500Zs went out, filament to grid short, and it took out a couple of things in the transmitter, an RF choke, which is not a big deal, but it took out my Harbach soft keyboard. So we're in the process of trying to line up some components to get the SB220 back on the air, because I think I need the extra oomph in the signal. So, interesting listening to everybody talk about their Christmas activities with family visits and so on. I know, Perry, I think your son comes in tomorrow, unless the travel arrangements have changed. So I know you're looking forward to that. That's pretty good. Yeah, and Perry, you're making me paranoid. You see me listening on the web SDR, and then you think I'm going to be checking in, and most mornings I do. So I got sort of a kick out of that. And Kevin, I don't know if you're copying me, but using an electric stove as an RF monitor, that's a pretty unique application. You may want to write that one up for QST, because I think that's sort of novel. Well, we're looking at a pretty warm day here in Buffalo. It's 28 degrees right now, but we're going to have a green Christmas like most of the country. And I was commenting to my wife yesterday. I said to her, well, the kid in me hopes for a white Christmas, because I spent a lot of Christmases with snow on the ground and all the activities associated with it. But I said the old man in me sort of likes the green Christmas, where it's easy to get around. So it's a shame. And then I think if I were to cast a vote, though, I would generally go with a white Christmas. No question about it. That would keep Bing Crosby happy, too, I think. Well, I'll keep it short. I don't know if Kevin is copying me, and I did not copy K0TDH's handle, so you may want to have to help me on that. Kevin, off to you. KA2ZNI in the group, W2BNY.
Good morning, everybody. KB3RHR.
Hey, and there is Craig. Good morning, Craig. Why don't you go ahead and make one? And then you can just throw it on over to me there. Good morning, Steve, and Merry Christmas. And Merry Christmas to you, Craig. KB3RHR. Go ahead, Craig, and just throw it on over to me. KI2ZNI.
Yeah, okay, Kevin. I thought I'd at least get one rotation before I had to transmit. Good morning to you. Just literally just getting up here and sit down and doing the thing here. I don't know what the temperature is, but I did take the dog out, and my mom left her dog here for me to watch, so it's warm. It's pretty nice. Let's see, I heard Perry, I heard Tom. Good to hear you, Tom. And Steve, Merry Christmas. Here from southwestern PA. Stayed up late last night, of course, right? Waiting on Santa Claus, but didn't go overboard. We did eat pretty good yesterday. I was telling guys yesterday we should have probably just went ahead and had a barbecue for yesterday and today. It's supposed to be that nice, so. But not much else going on. Relaxing today. Not going anywhere. Washed the truck yesterday, so that was a good thing. And gonna open a couple little presents this morning and eat again, and then probably guaranteed, there's a nap somewhere involved in that. So, and then back to the grind tomorrow. But it's good to hear everybody here this morning. Merry Christmas. Over to you, Kevin. KA2ZNI, KB3RHR.
KB3RHR. Good morning. Good morning, Frank. Good morning, Steve. And good morning, Tom. Yeah, Tom, you're sounding good here this morning. The new microphone is working well for you there, so nice to hear you. Making the trip quite nicely from North Carolina up to Wisconsin here. Centrally located here in the States, and you're doing a fine job there. And the audio sounds just fine. So, don't know what else you're using there, or what you're using on that microphone, but it's working. Yeah, very good, Steve, on having the green Christmas this year. Like I told my wife, I said, well, being up in that part of the country all those years, and we have plenty of Christmases. Every Christmas that we've had here in Wisconsin has been white, with the exception of this year. So, great. I'll take the green Christmas. I'll very much. I don't mind. Of course, down in Arizona, it's the few years we were down there, we never had a white Christmas. Plus, we went up north, up in the higher elevations, Flagstaff and whatnot. Up there, Flagstaff, Arizona, they get their first snow in September. So anyway, nice to hear everyone on this morning. And Steve, for you about your SB220, man. That's oh man. So hopefully you'll get the parts with that on there before too long. Now you're still coming in here quite nicely, Steve. You're about 5'9", 5/9. So not a bad signal. And Craig, you're sounding like you're yourself, other than getting the Sandman out of you there. Or yawning a little bit, starting to wake up like I was doing about an hour ago. So I'm going on about 3 or 4 hours of sleep myself, so I can definitely only see a nap in my near future. So sounds great here this morning. And yeah, very good on the tuner. Yeah, those homebrew projects and navigating in uncharted water there. You always got to run into any faults, as you well know. So, but like I said, just I was looking at that picture you posted, or a couple of pictures, and I thought, man, what a nice job. So, boy, it looks really really nice job with the aesthetics of it, and you'll get that thing going in no time. So, group is going this morning. I'll send it around the horn here. And so far, for everybody listening and joining here this morning, Merry Christmas. Thanks so much for that station down here this morning. It's really... Over to you, Perry. W3 MMR. You're in the fine group this morning. The Christmas edition here. KA2ZI. Go ahead, Perry.
K0VUW.
Need to get on frequency there. You're up about 5 kc.
Some baseball documentaries, the Ken Burns baseball documentary, the history of baseball. If you're interested in baseball, have any interest in baseball at all, so there's a Ken Burns. Tom. You're making a fine trip out of North Carolina this morning. I really do enjoy the audio of that record. I didn't catch the ring that you were running, but it does sound great, and it works just fine. The loss of the AM mod monitor this morning isn't hurting things at all because the audio sounds just fine. That sucks. I guess that's the nature of running old gear like we do. We're running into this gear that we do. Things break. Too bad it took out the bar box all start. At least we got too much other stuff. But I'm sure we'll get back up and running in no time. The GX100, I guess, quote-unquote barefoot this morning is doing fine. If you're running it at the full 100 watts of carrier, if you're still running it at the reduced carrier, I would imagine that you're running it at 100 watts of carrier. And thanks again, Kevin, for the compliments. He's got some work to do on it, some of those balance issues. I was talking to Brent W1IA last night, and he just pointed out that the copper panel I have running from the knife switch that switches the cap in front of and back at the inductors goes to one of the inductors that could cause a balance issue because it could be in the field and the electrical field could throw the balance tuner. So I don't know if that's what's causing the balance issue in 20 and 40 or the RF issue, which is most likely a balance issue. So probably what I'll do is remove those pieces of copper tubing and then just use, a head end or something for temporary to reroute the capacitor connections, the inductors, and see if that makes any difference. The thing I hooked up a ground strap that goes on the one input side of the tuner. Ground radios on the side. Goes to the station ground, which the ground radios, I did that for 160, and then hooking the antenna to the team, but I never disconnected it, so I don't know if, all that ground, is causing the sound. I was told that it might, so I'm going to try disconnecting that ground and just having, the ground to the PL259, which, in the long run, is still hooked up to the ground radios outside because everything's I just hooked the ground up to there, so again, obviously I got a few things to try there, so we'll put it along here. So back in the meantime, I don't know if you're still going to stick in there with us for a little while. I didn't see much in there, so on to you, and if Tom's not in there, pick it up, Steve. W0TDH. Merry Christmas to W3NR.
W3NMR. TDH. Thanks for the audio report, Perry. Thank you. The mic is not necessarily new here, but it's new to being used on this rig. It's an Icon 7300. The RE20 is being a 12AX7 frequency, and there's more than enough audio available. A little weak. Yeah. So, anyway, go ahead and watch with the ALHD to the window line fed 80-meter dipole. So, and Merry Christmas to everybody. And naps. Well, retiree union. Not paying any dues. Taxes, I suppose. But there is benefit. allowed at the 3 naps a day. And most frequently, I'll make 2 of them. So. And I was up at 2:30 this morning, let the dog out, so I'm overdue for the first nap already. Anyway, Merry Christmas to everybody. And over to Steve. Well, if there's other trains and upstairs with chores. W2BNY. W0 Harry, over.
Okay, W0TDH in the group. W2BNY here in Buffalo.
Christmas crew, Tom, the fun 7-2s.
To you, good to hear you on this morning. To our 5 a.m. group. I meant to mention to Perry, by the way, we had to drop Wawa as the sponsor because I read about a week ago that they had a pretty big data breach with customers using cards, I guess, at the Wawas. So when I got that news, I said we're going to have to drop Wawa as a sponsor of the morning AM group. So anyway, you may want to comment on that. And, yeah, Tom, congratulations on your, I guess, new microphone. I'm not picking you up as well as I probably should because my dipole, my fan dipole is sort of an east-west configuration. I'm not sure how I hear anybody from the south, but apparently I pick some of the southern stations up on the ends of the dipole. Yeah, the SB220 was going along pretty good for about 10 months. When I first got it, I did a lot of upgrades and change-outs and new parts and so on. But it had one of the original tubes in it. I have a feeling the previous owner sort of abused the amp because that tube finally gave out and took some things with it. So I've got the old 3500Z. A lot of people say they make great Christmas tree decorations. I guess if I got it up on the top there and lit up the filament, if the filament is still operating, it would be a nice topper to a tree. If anybody wants it, let me know, and I'll get it down to you. So, yeah, Perry, I'll have to look on your website on the tuner work that you're doing or have completed. That sounds pretty interesting. Sounds like an interesting project. And let's see, Craig, good morning and a Merry Christmas to you. I think you're into your first cup of coffee, and that's always good to do. I'm going to stick around probably for another rotation and then pull the big switch and get off to Christmas 2019 here up at the W2BNY studios. So, Craig, I think you're next in the rotation. So down it comes to you in sunny Miami-like Pittsburgh. KB3RHR W2BNY.
Kilowatt 0, Victor United Whiskey. Am I on frequency now?
10-9 TV.
Yeah, Kilowatt 0, Victor United Whiskey, you're on frequency. You're acknowledged, so good morning and Merry Christmas. Okay, yeah, I got half a cup down, so that's good. I'm better. I can even hear myself being better. God, man, it's a shame. It takes that kind of coffee to get me going. Perry, I was going to comment that Ken Burns, man, he is a documentary genius, I think. The first one that ever got me hooked to his was a documentary called The War. It's all about World War II. If you have not seen that, you need to see that one. That one was really good. I mean, unbelievable. I went years ago I saw that. I can't remember how many years. I ended up buying the soundtrack to that thing. And at that time I was in the American Legion, and I did old military photos from everybody that was in the Legion that I was with. That's how impressed and how it inspired me, I guess. So That's a really good one. And there's others of his, but I'll have to check that one out. I'm sure it's just as high class quality as the World War II one is, but pretty cool. I was just sitting here doing Timtron homework from a conversation last night. I always got to write this stuff down, and when I get free time in here, I do my homework. And so I was doing Timtron homework from some broadcast conversations we had, I guess, last night. Fascinating, man, just to hear stories of that kind of stuff. So I was doing some homework there while I was coming around. Yeah, Steve, we're going to have barbecues. And I did yesterday. I went to a local butcher shop and bought a bunch of steaks and kibasi and stuff. And we had the steaks last night. And steaks, and I made a big pot of homemade chili, and there was more olives and pickles and you name it. The two of us here, plus the dog and the cat, which have to share floor space time. The cat can only come out when the dog is put away, so we've been flip-flopping the floor space time with the dog and the cat. I don't think they have seen each other one time, and it wasn't too good. So my mom's with my brother up in downtown Pittsburgh, and he has 2 new baby boys, 2 twins that he just had. So to be with him, and so we're babysitting the dog. And beautiful, beautiful day yesterday. Just can't, although I did fall yesterday. I couldn't believe this, boy. I tell you, you're getting old when this happens. I get out at the car wash, not realizing, man, it was all ice. I couldn't believe it. It was all ice. You know what I mean? As soon as my feet hit the ground, down I went, man. Then, the first thing you do when you do that, well, I guess when you get up to this age, I guess, you think, man, did I break anything? And then the second thing you do is look around and make sure nobody saw you. Oh, man. I hit the ground pretty good. I had a hold of the truck door the whole time, but, man, my feet were gone. There was just no footwork left. It was all over. So I couldn't believe it, though. It was pretty warm yesterday morning. And you know how those car washes are. They're, people using them 24/7, and not the actual stall, but right outside of it, that was just all ice. So, yeah, I bit the dust pretty good. When you're 6'6" and you hit the ground and you're, 300-pounder, you leave a dent in the asphalt. So that was a good one. But nobody saw, so I'll go ahead and tell you guys here on the air that is exactly what happened. But let's see, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, sorry to hear about that SB220, Steve, but you sound good, really. I mean, you're boiling in here. And Tom, Dick, and Harry, he was doing great at an NC, so conditions were really good there this morning. I was up last night late talking to Tim and Paul, and then I got out of there and we went and did the Christmas TV thing, which ended up turning into another documentary. There's a big documentary on National Geographic about the Smoky Mountains, so that we watched that all night. But that's all that's going on here. Santa's been here, and she'll probably wake up by noon, so we'll have Christmas by then. Anyways, I'll turn it over to K0VUW, and then if you could, please turn it over to KA2ZNI. Good morning and Merry Christmas, K0VUW from KB3RHR.
And good morning, W9JMK.
Okay, very good. Very good morning. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Happy Hanukkah, happy holidays, whatever it takes here this morning. Thanks for getting me in here. Name here is Gary, Gulf America Radio Yankee. Situation is Wildwood, Missouri. I am about 46 miles west of St. Louis. I have been working on a BC 610 Charlie, and that's what I broke in on. I thought you guys were on 25. The receiver's an SX28, and not to sleep here, I thought I was centered on the same frequency. I just was on a crystal, and that rig is at the other end of the house, and they saw frequency 5, I went, oh man. So I'm on a homebrew setup here that I have a tunable VFO. BC 610 has a tunable VFO if you go inside, but it is like 1 nanosecond movement takes you about 250 kc, so I just didn't want to screw with that. Especially you have to sleep. And you say the fellow that just turned it to me, you didn't, nobody saw it, but it's on YouTube. It's at, and when you fall like that, go, yep, transmission's okay. Lucky you didn't hurt your big boy. So, yeah, that's the thing around those car washes and that's you forget that stuff tends to freeze because there's water flowing all the time, and you would think it would melt, but actually it builds up. So I just wanted to come back in here and let you know I wasn't trying to jack anybody's chain. I just couldn't switch frequencies very readily, and I didn't trust where I would end up. And it would take me a minute or so to hunt down I'm not even sure where we're at now. I'm on all animal stuff. So I just try to center you and go for that. But at any rate, thanks for letting us in. Hope you're copying okay. Everybody has got great signals. Oh, and the guy with the SB220, I've got several that I use on AM. And the big deal there is first of all, they weren't made for AM, but 100 milliamps or less on the grid current. I try never to go over 80. It's just too much load. You look at the transformer and the power situation and whatnot. It just wasn't designed for that constant. If you have a tendency to really hop on that baby, one of the giveaway things is you start going over 100 mils is pushing the grid current on that, key down. So normal sideband or something wouldn't bother anything, but this is a suggestion. I like them. They do just about right. They're not excessive power, but they're not, Viking 2, a little more daft, valiant. Still a nice setup, but like you say, you might just have a weak tube. But they last pretty long. I got one that I built in 80, I think. It's still same tube, still going. Original stuff there. So I was going to write down the call to turn it to the K2, and there was also an N9, so I don't know your protocol. So I'll go with the K2, and he can deal with the 9 the way it's supposed to be dealt with. But again, thanks for bringing us in. Everybody have a great holiday and Christmas, and we'll catch you down the log. And I hope to get on with the BC-10 here pretty soon. This is Kilowatt Zero, United Whiskey, Gary, Wildwood, Missouri, saying a very good morning. Thank you, gentlemen.
And 9 TBE.
Okay, looks like we had another breaker in there, but I did hear Jerry in there, W9JMK. Go ahead, Jerry. Pick it up, and you can throw it over to me there. Good morning. Merry Christmas. And then it sounded like maybe another breaker, but he was too weak for me. Go ahead, Jerry. KA2ZNI.
Okay. Well, good morning, Kevin. KA2ZNI. W9JMK. Norway, Wisconsin. Just, I've been up for about an hour now, waiting for coffee to brew. Got to get that first cup in me. And the VMC rig this morning. And, let's see, just checking meters out, make sure everything is where it should be. Appears to be. And good morning to Craig and Gary. And that's pretty much all I've heard so far. It sounds like there's a few others. And good morning all, and Merry Christmas. And hope everybody's got a big day planned. If not, that's a good thing. Me, I got 17 of us will be here rummaging through things, and kids will be waiting at the bit while we're eating to get down here to rip some presents open. And we do brunch, and then everybody's gone by usually 2, 3 o'clock. And they go to their significant other's family Christmas. So I just thought I was upstairs waking up in the porcelain room, and I had the iPad, and I turned to an SDR receiver, and I heard you guys, but I thought I'd come down here real quick and say good morning and Merry Christmas to all. Everybody's sounding quite nice coming into Norway. 24 miles southwest of Milwaukee. So that's a scoop over there. I'll get it back over to you, Kevin. I think I won't touch the breaker either. It was a little fast for me, especially without that first cup. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run upstairs and grab that, and I'll be back down here. If I'm also likely got things for me to do, like populate the Christmas tree with all the gifts that she's got hidden. They're not hidden, they're all over the basement. It's okay. Thanks for having me on here. And I'd send it over to you, Kevin. KA2ZNI and W9JMK.
All right, very good. W9JMK here in the group this morning, the fine group. KA2ZNI. Say good morning to you, Jerry. Nice to hear you this morning. Merry Christmas to you and your family over there. Nice to hear you on. And signals are a little bit light right now, but I heard Bruce. I talked to Bruce earlier, KGR, and in-state here. It's a little rough right now. The band is pretty long. But heard you no problem. So great you stopped by, and maybe we'll catch you in a little while down there on 3880. I'll try and get in on that crowd this morning. And good morning to Gary. Gary, you got a very nice signal in here this morning. Merry Christmas to you. You're running about 10 to 20 over 9. And no problem. The 610 being up the band there a little bit. Just caught the edge of it, but man, on the pennant after you just had a tremendous tumble. And that's how I knew you were there. You were strapping in here just fine on the front as well as your homebrew there. So nice to hear you on this morning. New Year's Victor Indian November. Located out here in central 150 miles west of Newark, the little city of Reedsburg. So, Craig, man, sorry to hear you going down there yesterday, and sounded like maybe nothing more than a bruised ego there for a minute. But, I know the pain. I know the pain. You go down, you think, okay, let's look up what happened, and then you start looking around. You kind of sheepishly get up and brush it up, and kind of hopeful, so nobody else saw the action. So glad nothing else became of it. And nice signal this morning, Craig. You're doing exceptional here. I know a lot of mornings have a rather tough time hearing you in there sometimes, but this morning you're coming in quite nicely. And let's see, did I miss? I've kind of half taken some notes on it here, if not. But yeah, Steve. Well, I'll tell you, get that 3-5 right. That thing will light up, throw it on top of the train. There we go. Merry Christmas. Make a nice tree topper for you. So yeah, sorry that's had to go down on you, but boy, I'll tell you. With what you're using this morning, that last transmission, we were up about 10 to 15 over 9. Sounding nice in here this morning as well. Boy, everybody's just coming in here, and the band is really quiet. We've only got about a core noise level. And everybody is at least a 9 or better, so nice listen to Christmas morning. And I don't know if Tom was getting out of there. It sounded like maybe he was probably already gone. If he did, but I will say 73 to Tom. Nice to have you pop in, and sounding great up here this morning. So big group here this morning. I'm not going to keep it. I'll send it around here. Back over to you, Perry. I think I got the order right here. The group is growing. W3 MMR. KATZNI.
Now there's an N9 TBE waiting in the wings as well.
Hey, go ahead and figure out N9 TBE W3.
N9 TBE. You in there? Go ahead. I'm not hearing anything. Go ahead, Perry.
You're nothing here. Let's see if we can do it after that. Thank you, Jerry. I heard him in there a minute ago. I couldn't make out his call. But I guess you were hearing him a little better than I was. But good morning to you, Jerry. And Merry Christmas to you. 7-3 to Gary. I think that's what you said your name was, Gary. I think it was live. Jerry. Good morning to you, and Merry Christmas. 27th of Utah. So we'll be from North Carolina this morning. Thank you to all around this morning. A little on the weather side here. I've no problems talking with folks over here this morning. Northeastern Pennsylvania. Anyway, just something up here. Run down the road to Wawa, Steve. Go to Wawa. I gotta get some soft pretzels now started. But I did read about that data breach that they had, and I guess some people, they got a hold of hackers got a hold of some debit card information, credit card information there. So my account hasn't been hacked as of yet, and I guess they'll replace the lost funds. We have a pretty good protection policy there at my bank, so this is just pay with cash. I don't ever carry cash, so but I do have some cash now for the Christmas gift, if you want to call it that, from work yesterday. So I did have a couple bucks of cash in my pocket, which is a rare thing for me. Craig, I might have talked about I'm sure that I have. I've got a lot of documents anyway too. And they're all set. what a crazy crazy time. God bless him. You know, but those are all different breed. That's for damn sure. And hats off to them, and hats off to all my fellow veterans and everybody who served and anybody who supports the troops. Not just about the people who served. It's obviously great, and we get thanked a lot. But I also try to thank the people who support the troops. It really makes it easier for the folks who have served and who are serving. Makes their job a little bit easier, makes it easier to go away from home, to be away from their families, when you have people thanking you for what you're doing. Because it makes you remember that you're part of something that's a lot bigger than yourself, and that you're helping protect someone who just thanked you for what you're doing. And it's a good deed, and makes it worth it. Being away from home. I'll just put it like that. At least you didn't get hurt, man, but I'm clumsy. I'm 5'6", so I usually have a low center of gravity. I'm 5'6", like 195, 200, so I got a really nice low center of gravity. But I'm still clumsy, man. When it comes to ice, I grew up playing ice hockey. I can ice skate my butt off. You know, when it comes to walking on ice, forget about it. Safer than all fours. You're trying to walk across it. But anyway, I think that's all I got for this round. Like I said, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna run down the street there and go grab some soft pretzels. Hopefully they're open. Online it says they're open, but the hours may vary. So hopefully I'm not gonna be driving for no reason here. Out in this 21-degree weather at the moment. So. So 7:30, guys, I'm going to back in here in a minute, but like I said, I should be back in. So, over to, I guess it goes to Steve, W2BN Live, Tom Sign, which I think he did. So, here for a second, Steve, to see if the breaking station, the TBE station is back in there. W301. Back in your seat.
Yes, this is Norway 9 Tokyo Baker Echo in Wisconsin. I'll wait my turn, fellas. Good morning. Merry Christmas.
Okay, N9TBE heard and recognized. And okay, Perry, W3MMR. This is W2BNY in the group. And Perry's going to take a little bit of a break there, but he'll be back on frequency in about 15 minutes. And, okay, Perry, I think we got to drop Wawa as a sponsor. I'm working on Chock full of Nuts Coffee as a new sponsor, so I'll keep you up to date on that. And, yeah, that data breaches, you hear more and more and more about that. Makes you wonder about using any kind of a plastic card on any terminal these days. And that's why some of the like LifeLock companies are so popular. People trying to watch their credit scores and possibility of their Social Security numbers being breached and credit card numbers and all that kind of stuff. That's the kind of world we live in, unfortunately. But that's what we got to put up with. And Gary, VUW, got a great signal here in the Buffalo, along with Jerry, JMK, both stations coming in extremely well into Buffalo. And Gary, I don't know if you're still on frequency, but wondering on your SB220s if you grounded the grids. Mine are not grounded. They're the original RFC choke and capacitor grounding. But I'm looking at, as I'm getting my SB220 back on the air, if I should ground the grids. I know there's a lot of conversation about that. Anyway, let's see here. Yeah, Tom getting ready with steaks and kielbasa. Those kielbasa make great breakfasts, by the way. And sounds like you got a pot of chili on. You're making me hungry. Maybe I'll drive down to Pittsburgh and spend Christmas with you. I don't know. That sounds really, really great. And okay, on the car wash and the fall, boy, that can be pretty serious stuff at any age, but particularly as you get older. It reminded me, there's a supermarket chain here in Buffalo, and when their parking lot gets icy, they put signs out on the parking lot, and they show a penguin. And below the picture of the penguin, it says, "Walk like a penguin" when you're on top of the ice. So maybe that's some advice. I know there are, I think, some YouTube videos on how to fall when you're coming down for whatever reason. And as I remember watching those things, they suggest turning into a wet noodle as you're falling down through space. Don't try to break the fall, because that's usually where the trouble begins, where you're sticking out a hand or a knee to break a fall, and what you wind up doing is breaking a wrist or a hand or a knee. Of course, if you're coming down and your head is heading toward the pavement, I don't know what you do in a case like that, but that's pretty serious stuff. Anyway, I'm going to pass along my 7-3s, get on to the Christmas festivities here in Buffalo, and it was really great hearing everybody on. Great signals this morning. I wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And if I don't talk to you in between. And with that, let me see here. I'm looking down through my notes. I think I'm passing it off to Craig. Craig, maybe you want to stand by and see if we can pick up N9TBE. So, Craig, off to you. KB3RHR in the group, W2BNY, 7-3s, everybody.
Okay, Steve, very good. The November 9 station, go ahead and make one. This is KB3RHR. Pass it back here. Over.
Okay, very good this morning, fellas. Let's see here how things are looking. Looks like I'm pretty close to frequency there. But, very close to everybody on frequency here this morning. My name is Jamie, Juliet Alpha Mike India Echo, located near Green Bay, Wisconsin. And I've been slowly kind of messing with this station here. I'm running a night kit, T60 transmitter. And just one vehicle which I have some very crazy instability problems with, but I think I've got that kind of nailed down. And listening to you guys this morning on an old Kenwood receiver, the Model R599, and I'm also driving a V13 and a whole new amplifier this morning. So that's the station setup here, fellas. Everybody's coming in great this morning. Quick signals from everybody up there in the Northeast. So thanks for getting me in here. I'll listen out, fellas, and I'll stay in the rotation maybe for one more. It's N9TBE near Green Bay, Wisconsin. Back to KB3RHR. Over.
Okay, Jamie. Well, Merry Christmas. Good morning to you. Pretty good signal here this morning from Green Bay. I'm going to have to go get another cup here. My neck's over. But, Steve, good to hear you. Perry, I don't know if you're going to come back, but good to hear you this morning. If not, you guys both Merry Christmas. Yeah, I don't know, Steve. I kind of got that kibasi for, not really for New Year's, but you're right. Big batch of eggs and some of that kibasi. Excuse me. It was a great breakfast. Something about the homemade kibasi. The little meat markets, at least around here, are not there anymore. I drove down to Wheeling West Virginia, and there's one there, old-timey with about 3 of those big, long, huge display cases and all fresh cut meat. Anything you get in Walmart's not going to taste nearly like this stuff does. So it was a great drive there yesterday morning to go get it. I mean, the steaks were just fresh. I really been itching to try that kibasi, but there was so much stuff to eat last night that didn't even get into it. So those mom and pop, anything mom and pop, you guys know that is better than the big box. So I try to support that when I can. And let's see, what else was I going to say? The Ken Burns thing, we discussed that. I was doing my Timtron homework. We were talking about broadcast stations, and there was a few things about WWVA that I needed to look up this morning, so I got that all jotted down. I don't know if you guys ever been to a big transmitter site. I've not, and got one right in the backyard and never got to go, so I'm trying to make arrangements someday here to get over there and go see what gives in one of those big transmitter sites. So Jamie, good signal into here. Gary, I don't know if you're still there, but I will try to pass it to you. And Kevin, you're hanging in there pretty well here this morning. I meant to comment on that. You're doing a good job. So it's kind of weird conditions. Steve was starting to fade out a little bit, as was Perry. So I don't know what's going to happen here this morning, but all in all, good Christmas morning conditions. So I'll turn it over to Gary. Gary, if you're not there, JMK can pick it up. K0VUW from KB3RHR.
Okay. I didn't hear Gary at all. I think he was a one and done. WB2RHR, W9JMK. There was another breaking station in there, which I had a very poor copy on. So, Kevin, if you want to try and pick them up, maybe you're hearing them a little bit better. And 73s to Steve, W2BNY. And Merry Christmas to you, Steve. And good morning to Jamie down there in Green Bay. I didn't have a clear copy on you, Jamie. I don't know if you're hearing me at all, but you were right around S8, S9. I seen the carrier, but the audio was non-existent for me. And this is Jerry, W9JMK. I didn't say that. Let's see. Didn't get any notes down. I ran up to get some coffee. To my amazement, I guess I walked by the tree like 3-4 times and didn't realize that all the gifts are already under there. So I guess that part of my duty is over. Well, let's see. All right, I tell you, I'm still half asleep. I'm trying to think what you guys touched on. But anyways, I'll just keep it going. Yeah, I'm sorry. Just trying to get everything in and had to pull everything out of the fridge. So I'll let it get the room temperature before we drop it in the oven. And yeah, kielbasa. We got a little Polish store here that will have fresh meats and fresh kielbasa. We got some kielbasa, got some Polish. My wife made a bunch of breakfast pizzas and casseroles and so on. So I think everybody's supposed to show up right around 11:30, 12 o'clock. And we'll get the activities going with a quick meal. And, I I know all the kids and grandkids and great-grandkids will be sitting around the tree with their breakfast, just staring at, taking a peek to see whose name is where. Who held the biggest box? I bet they got a lot of surprises. Big box, little gift, So, okay, I'm going to keep it going around. Kevin, see if we can pick up that breaking station. And I heard it in there. I heard him in there, but I couldn't pull it out. KA2ZNI coming your way, W9JMK.
Okay, Jerry, very good there. The breaking station sounded like a one station. If you can hear us there, go ahead. Call here is Kilowatt America 2, Zulu, November, India. Kevin out here in Wisconsin. Breaking station, go ahead.
Well, thank you. Good morning. This is Whiskey Bravo 1, Ryan, Texas. And the name is for Ocean Hill, of course. I just wanted to jump in there and see those stations. Your signals are pretty strong down here in south central Texas. So Tango Tennessee on a move. I have Kilo Alpha 2, Bravo November, Indy. Well, just saying, guys, I'll over to you and wishing you a very merry and Christmas. Over.
Okay, Doug, very good. W1E. Joining in the group this morning. Good morning. Merry Christmas to you, Doug. Nice to hear you on this morning. Here's Kilowatt America 2, Z's and Zulu, November, India. This is Zulu, November, India. Yeah, good morning. Nice to have you join us here this morning. And I'm going to go ahead and make this my last one here. A little bit. I got to go get some breakfast and get another round of coffee going here. And start getting things ready for some family that's going to show up later. But I will be back in here in a little bit, and if I don't catch you fine gentlemen in here a little later on, I'll be down on 3880. Try and catch the guys down there. But all the way around, we'll say Merry Christmas. Hope you all have a good day. Enjoy your family and friends. That's what it's all about. Sure is. And, yep, Greg, you're holding up quite nicely. You're still about 10 over 9, 10 to 15 over 9. And say 73s to Steve. Always nice to hear you, Steve, out of the Buffalo area. And I hope you get your touch me up there in no time there, buddy. So take care up there. And, let's see who else signed out. I think Terry was out for a little bit. He might be back and ringing like 4. Nice to have you on this morning, Jerry. We'll say 73s to you. Maybe catch you a little bit later on. Merry Christmas to you and your family. Always a pleasure to have you pop in there. And I guess Gary was one and done, so he's out of there. So let me get it over to. Let's see. We'll send it over to Perry. If Perry's not back yet, then. Let's see, Tom's out of there. Steve's out of there. Well, I guess if you're not in there, Perry, I guess it goes back over to, I know it would go to, what, N9TBE, I think. I got call signs scratched all over this paper. So we'll catch you all later there, guys. N9TBE to pick it up, I think. And then over to you there, Craig. 7-3s, guys. Merry Christmas, and we'll see y'all later. Always appreciate jumping in here and catching you guys later on. 7-3.
Kilowatt 5, November, Sugar November, K5, never say never.
Okay, fellas. I think it actually goes over to Steve. Are you still here, Steve, W2BNY? not hearing Steve. I did hear a couple other stations in there, and didn't get any call signs jotted down, but maybe RHR is taking some notes or something over there. But I really appreciate you guys letting me get in here today and exercising this old equipment. I see I may have drifted down in frequency just a little bit here this morning, but that's to be expected. And may have to just get up on the microphone a little bit more for you, Jerry, get a little more audio in there. But I kind of got the same problem on this end, Jerry, this morning, if you're still in there and you're hearing me at all. I know you're in there, but I couldn't get any audio out of you. So I'm listening to you on the SDR web here. So yeah, I'm going to get the coffee pot going here. I've got one in me already this morning. Just warmed up a little bit of leftover stuff from last night. And I got to get a fresh pot going here this morning. And we've got some family here this morning, so we'll be doing Christmas here. Temperatures are supposed to be pretty mild, looking to hit about 40 today in Wisconsin. So I'm thinking about hitching up the tractor and the wagon and doing a hayride this afternoon, a Christmas hayride. Throw the generator on there and throw some Christmas lights, some music, and take a little trip around the block here. So we'll see how that works out. The first year doing it, maybe it'll turn into something we can do every year. Of course, weather depending. But that's my thoughts for today's tree all the way around. And again, thanks for letting me get in here on Christmas morning. And I hope everybody has a great Christmas. And I get a chance to get in here again and talk to you fellas. So I think it goes back over to TV3 RHR, N9 TBE in the group. 7-3 all the way around, fellas. 3 in the morning.
Okay, Perry, we'll get 7-3 Jamie, excuse me. Jimmy's in there, K5NSN. I was going to pass it to him, and then I'm not really sure JMK gets it. Jimmy, if you're still hearing me, K5NSN, KB3 RHR, go ahead.
Okay, real good, Craig. Very, very good morning and Merry Christmas to everybody out here on 3885 from Weatherford, Texas. From the northern end of where Doug was, the guy that was just in there from Bryan, Texas, we're due north of him by about 250 miles, somewhere give or take a few. And boy, the band is just fantastic this morning. Man alive, I'm hearing 50-watt stations coming in from east of the Mississippi. That means the band is very good. So I just wanted to get in and wish everybody here at 3885 a very Merry Christmas. I trust everyone is keeping the main thing, and having a very good day today. And a very good, prosperous 2020 as well. So if I have more vacation time coming up on the 31st, so chances are you might hear me on the radio then. Greg, your signal down here is outstanding this morning. It's faded a little bit from what it was. I've been listening along here for a little while. And thank you for picking me up and putting me in rotation here. I'll see how long this transpires with 3885, then I'll move up to 3890 and catch the regional traffic down here in the AM window. So again, Merry Christmas, everybody. Wonderful signals coming into Weatherford, Texas. The transmitter is an Apache TX1, transmitting at about 21 watts of carrier, exciting a 4-1000 with 3150 volts on the plate, for a final PEP output of right around 1250 watts this morning. And the antenna is a full-size quarter-wave vertical over 60 radials and receiving on a full-wave delta loop on the Heathkit Mohawk with several electric radio modifications.
Good morning, everybody. I'll be riding along. Craig, thanks for plugging me in there. KB3 Romeo Hotel Romeo from Kilowatt 5. Never say never.
Okay, Jimmy. Well, good to have you, man. Great signal here in southwestern PA, for sure. Merry Christmas to you and everybody down your way. Good to hear you here this morning. And I'll turn it over to Perry. Perry, I guess everybody's kind of like getting out, but I think JMK is going to hang in there with us. So, Perry, why don't you send it over to JMK when you're done? I went over and cut myself a slice of bread. I went and got, if you're going to go to the meat market, you got to get fresh, local, baked Italian bread. Holy cow, man. That was great. Unbelievable. No wonder I'm so fat. I like that. I like bread. So, I usually use some of that dipping oil. Oh, man. A little olive oil with some spices in it. I could eat that whole loaf of bread, man. But it's Christmas, so I can splurge today. Over to you, Perry. W3MMR, KB3RE Charter Group.
WD4NKA.
Good morning, Gary. Merry Christmas to you, buddy.
Sugar Fox.
I seen the carrier drop anyway. I believe it was WB4NKA. Gary, good morning. And Merry Christmas to you. W9JMK here, Norway, Wisconsin, 24 miles southwest of Milwaukee. And good morning to Steve, K0SF. Good to hear you in here this morning. And Merry Christmas to you and yours, Steve. And welcome back, Perry, with your 3 pretzels. Wawa. Never been there, but I've heard a lot about Wawa. I had a buddy who's now deceased that lived in Boyertown, and he called me every day and tell me he's about to stop at Wawa. Yeah, I got to get down there and try that once. I heard a lot of good things about it. Okay, and good morning to Jimmy, K5NSN. And the Apache sounding great, Jimmy. Coming in fine fashion down here into Norway. And let's see, what else I got here? Bread. Oh my God, that is my total downfall. I'm from the Netherlands, and I've been here since 1961. And back in the day when we used to go back, and they had carts that they pushed around the neighborhoods, the small little villages and stuff with fresh bread, still warm. I love crusty bread. And dipping oil, my God. I know where you're coming from with that, Craig. The oil with the garlic and the spices is just wonderful with some nice crusty bread. Okay, well, I'm going to get out of here because I'm not hearing everyone. Thanks for letting me join you guys this morning. It's been a great pleasure and good signals for the most part. Just a few that I just can't pull out. So I'm going to send it back to you, Craig, because I'm not quite sure where it goes. Like Kevin, I got scribbled all over the sheet. And so I'm not quite sure who's going to pick it up. And Jamie down there in Green Bay, flying pleased to you. Sorry I couldn't pull you out of there. So, I'm sending it back your way, Craig. You can dish it off to where it goes. 73 Saul, Merry Christmas. If I don't talk to you before the first of the year, have a great New Year's. And I hope next year is better than the last and not as good as the next. So you guys all have a great holiday season. KB3 RHR coming your way. Merry Christmas, W9 JMK.
Okay, Jerry. Merry Christmas. And Steve, go ahead and make one, K0 Sugar Fox. And good morning, Gary. Good signal, Gary, out of Florida. K0SF, KB3 RHR in a group.
Yeah, okay, Craig, very good. KB3RHR in the group, K0SF. Well, Merry Christmas to everyone. Jerry, I think you're leaving, but we have a great day. I assume you're with family. And Craig, you too. I think Perry's in here. Gary, WD4NK, who I don't copy solidly, will want 50% money. And Jimmy, big signal up here this morning into Minnesota off the vertical. Sounds awesome. You're 20 to 30 over up here. Again, my name is Steve, and I'm located near Minneapolis, about 15 miles northwest of downtown. We have our son and newly wedded daughter-in-law here tonight. They stayed overnight, and then his twin brother and girlfriend are coming later this morning. So we're going to make breakfast and we're going to make dinner and play a bunch of games. So and open some presents, of course. So we're looking quite forward to that. I think this was the year, you have to get your own presents. So if Santa didn't steal it and give it to one of you guys, it's an old Genrad Megger that I bought on QTH.com and giving to myself. But like I said, one of you guys may have had a Megger in your Christmas list, and Santa may have picked it up last night. So let me know how that thing works. Craig, not knowing who it goes, back to you. KB3RHR, K0SF, over.
Yeah, okay, Steve, I'll make one. I'll guess my one and done. Merry Christmas to you, buddy, and a great signal here. Jimmy as well, he's boiling in, so everybody's doing ultra-fine business here this morning here. Yeah, the dipping oil, Jerry, holy cow. And that bread, that's a good thing I don't live close to a bakery, but those are the kind of things like I miss, as I was a kid. I can remember my grandparents and even my parents going to these mom and pop shops and buying, homemade bread and fresh meat. And you just don't see that anymore. You can't compare homemade bread from a bakery or such to something like from a big box place like Walmart. I mean, it's night and day difference in taste and freshness, it seems like. So, and that includes the meat. So I miss that stuff. I can remember my grandfather had taken me as a little kid, and you go over to the local, even the local grocery store that had their own butchers, and the meat came locally. So you miss that stuff, man, and the service. The service quality was, just as impeccable, because everybody kind of knew you. So, and they knew that you, if you put your standards out there, they knew what you expected from them. So that was pretty good. So we don't have that stuff locally here to me. I mean, you have your little hot pockets of places that have that, and usually it's a drive, and they close at 5, and that's the story. So miss that stuff. Anyway, Merry Christmas to you all, and I really don't know the rotation anymore, Steve. I don't know how it goes. We've had so many guys jump in this morning and say hello, so Gary, good to hear you. Great signal there for a little while, and then, just the waiver of the band, he dropped out a little bit, but good to hear you, Gary. Merry Christmas in Florida. I guess it goes to, I don't know if Jamie's still in there, or Jimmy. Jamie, I'll turn it over to you. And Jamie, if he's not there, Jimmy, and you're still there, K5NSN, take it. And then Perry would be, I guess, kind of next. So that's the way I kind of feel it should be anyway. N9TDE, if you're still there, make one. And if not, Jimmy, pick it up and send it back to Perry. From KB3RHR 73, guys, have a very good Christmas. Maybe we'll catch you later on the bands.
Whiskey 8 Alpha Delta Charlie.
Jamie's not there, so I was looking for Jimmy to hand it to if Jamie wasn't there. Jimmy, are you out there?
Yeah, I was just dragging my feet because I didn't know if maybe Jamie was making a transmission and I couldn't hear him. I don't have a whole lot more to add. I just kind of wanted to pop in here this morning and wish everybody on 85 a Merry Christmas. I figured the crowd would be a little bit bigger, but then I got to keep in mind that it's an hour earlier here than it is east of the Mississippi. So you guys already have sunrise creeping up over the horizon, and it's still dark here. So I probably have better conditions from here and on to the west than what you have out there to the east. Things are probably beginning to shorten up for you. So I'll just echo the same thing I said earlier. A very wonderful Christmas to everybody, or whatever you happen to be celebrating. It might be Korean, maybe you don't celebrate anything at all, but I hope everybody has a wonderful day. So with that, I'll send it back over to you. I believe that was Craig. Just now, I can't ascertain voices and put them on call signs yet, but anyway, thanks for picking me up this morning. It's been great to be a part of things. So good morning, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you're celebrating, and we'll look for everybody again sometime when I've got a little bit of time to get out here in the Rockingham Palace. Good morning. This is Killer Rock 5. Never say never. Tossing it up in the air because I have no idea where it goes.
Going on.